What is the best thing you've seen?
Your t-shirt.
You love it. Oh my God. What do you love about her?
You're a white dude and you're for Harris.
Hell yeah. What about Kamala? What do you like about her?
She's not Trump. I mean, I'm a progressive caucus Bernie fan, but I'm going to vote for Kamala, of course.
I'm a progressive caucus.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
What is your name?
Johnny Blastoff.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah. Do you like a penis straw?
Of course.
I have cock rings for Kamala also.
I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you so much. What do you have? This is the Propaganda Report. We tried something new with the intro there. We're just testing things out. I'm Brad Binkley, joined here by Ian Covell. We have a show for you today. Colbert makes love to the USAID, and then a guest comes back that hasn't been back in a while, Progressive Reginald, the V actor, who I think will have some great insights about the happenings in the world right now. Will be joining us during the latter part of the show. Ian, how are you?
I'm great. I'm doing great.
That's good. You know? That's good. You guys in the chats, let me know if the audio and everything is okay. I had some technical mishaps yesterday and still recovering from those. So let us know if we need to bump anything up during the show. I would appreciate that. So what I want to start with real quick. What's up, Steve? Steve, how's our audio sound? Can you hear both of us okay?
Hello, testing.
Testing.
See how you guys get to be a part of the show behind
part of the
scenes.
production. Nate, what do you think of the audio? Can you hear us? I guess we have to say something.
You guys are the production team.
That's true. That is very...
Hey.
Sounds fine. Good. All right. That's good to me. All right. Thank you, guys. All right. So I want to start real quick by... This USAID thing has really been exposed even more so than before the past couple of days. It's a corrupt regime change international propaganda front for the CIA. It has been for decades, something that I've highlighted on this show for many, many years, something that was pointed out on X that they remember us talking about back on WSB years ago, especially in regards to the USAID's role in the destruction and building back better of Ukraine. The extent of this organization and the people in it, their criminal activity is being exposed, and that is a wonderful thing. I'm glad everyone who was not familiar with that before is now learning about this type of propaganda operation, because this is common around the world. Countries have this, and these humanitarian organizations are used as a front for often unchecked and power that can turn very insidious in ways. Not everybody involved is bad, obviously, but
probably the people in the field, the people in the offices are probably good people. They think they're probably doing good.
They might. Some of them might.
Some of them. I'm talking about the people who are out there, overseas distributing aid and stuff like that. I think some of these people
might. Maybe some. Yeah, the nurses, the drivers. Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, you can't pull this off without having a couple of useful idiots.
Of course. Yeah, the administrators of it. Yeah, I don't blame them. The people who, might be handing off the aid. Those are the ones. Those are the jobs that the psychopaths that they hire, because they look for people with sociopathic and psychopathic qualities to fill these types of roles, these higher up roles. They're not going to go deliver that aid. Yeah, they don't want to catch Ebola.
You only get these jobs if you can prove to them that you are corruptible.
Absolutely, and that you can compartmentalize and kill people. Basically, you can be okay killing people. I think is part of. Are you okay killing people?
Or
kill this person?
You just reframe. Well, I'm not really killing them.
You're earning the job, I guess, is what. Yeah,
I'm letting other people live better.
Right, or maybe they're just directly killing people. Sometimes I don't know, but yeah. So this has been an awful organization for a long, long, long time. And it's been a front. It's been abused, like Jerry Savile type humanitarian philanthropic purpose. Jimmy Savile, not Jerry.
Yeah.
The one that comes to mind often is he had these philanthropic organizations that donated money to hospitals. Yeah. And he would go into these hospitals and he would molest the nurses and he would rape corpses in the hospitals. Yeah. And there's a story about a nurse.
Well, wait a minute. Can you rape a corpse? I mean, the corpse can't say no.
Can't say yes.
You can't say no.
So okay, so I don't know if this got litigated. He had sex with a corpse.
All right, all right,
is
all
that
right.
politically correct?
Okay,
Yeah, I don't want to
okay.
get. I don't want to accuse him.
Yeah.
I don't want to accuse a serial.
I don't think you can rape a corpse.
Yeah, right. So we don't want to slander Savile's name.
Yeah.
Wouldn't want to say that. But when he got caught, he said to one of the nurses, "You tell anybody about this, I'll take all the money away from all of these people that it's helping."
Uh-huh.
And that's one of the ways that he kept people silent. And that's how I see organizations like the USAID. And I am glad it's being exposed, okay?
Yeah, I know.
As someone who's been exposing it for many, many years and being called a conspiracy theorist for doing so and having views suppressed, we got kicked off the radio for, not this specifically, but a lot of general conspiratorial Jeffrey Epstein stuff. It is a little annoying to me when grifters on social media point out things that have been very obvious to those of us who have been covering the stuff in earnest for many, many years, and they get celebrated as having some sort of unique insight.
Yeah.
What was the phrase? For the 5-alarm fire. If I see the word 5-alarm fire again, I saw a bunch of MSNBC people using it. Then I saw CNN, and now I'm seeing people on social media talking about this. I'm so tired of this NPC word being thrown around now.
Is it a chili? 5-alarm? Is that like a chili there?
It's a Chili's. It's a Chili's. It's like an appetizer. You get a 5-alarm fire.
Yeah.
You get all 5 very
It's all
spicy
hot.
appetizers.
Yes. Comes to your table sizzling.
Yes. This 5. So maybe that's me. Maybe that's something I have to contend with. That I don't mind when there's like good people doing things in earnest to get attention for pointing things out. But when there's people that I know are grifters, it's a little irritating to me.
Sure.
But nevertheless, that's not the real story as it's being pointed out. The real story about it being an international propaganda organization, basically. Not just propaganda of word, propaganda of deed. Which propaganda of deed is that act of the words like program our brains, but the deeds are actions. It's like a false flag event. It's like delivering some sort of aid to create the impression that you are some sort of good person, but you're there for subversive purposes. It's actually a very fascinating thing to research, the history of propaganda of the deed. Edward Bernays wrote a lot about it, but check it out. It's an interesting subject. But what the real story is about USAID, it's not just exposing this. It's what is going to happen next. It's preventing this from continuing to happen in an insidious way, in maybe a different direction, and perhaps even under a different banner. So the exposing of it is the half measure. Yes, we can celebrate that, but I contend that we should continue to pay attention to make sure the same thing doesn't happen again while we're celebrating it over here. In my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, well.
We're all entitled to our opinions, unless we say the wrong opinion.
I saw that thing I found out. Did you know that Politico has like a special publication called Politico Pro? Did you see this?
I've seen that. Yeah, I haven't.
Do you know a subscription costs like $10,000 a year?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, and the USAID money was being spent on it, subsidizing it, so that politicians could get the. It's a grift.
It's a money laundering.
It's a fucking grift. It's a fucking money laundering thing. What the hell could be in Politico Pro?
The real story.
The
truth. Nothing.
Yeah. No,
Nothing.
What the fuck is in this Politico Pro? We need to have Propaganda Pro. It costs $30,000 a month.
And we'll tell you some of the truth.
We'll tell you some of the truth. Some of the truth.
I don't know. I did see that. I haven't dove into that story. I wonder if it's got to be some sort of, it's got to be money laundering, honestly.
It all is. It all is. It's no different than, if I started taking kickbacks off of vendors that I use.
Right. You don't do that?
No, I don't do that. I'm an honest person.
Oh, yeah, right. No, right. No, totally. It's the CIA book operations, too. Mm-hmm. Everybody who used to be a former Trump staffer in the first administration, or the James Comeys of the world, or all the intel, every time you see them doing the media rounds, every time, they might not slip it in until the end, but they're given their experienced insights on whatever the subject of the day is, and then at some point during the interview, they're promoting their latest book.
I know.
And that book is based on anonymous sources, and it's number one on Amazon before it's even been released every single time.
Oh, I know.
It's money laundering.
Right before Trump was elected, we were watching one of these on the show where the guy, super nerdy guy, talking about the danger of the incoming fascism, and then slowly he's like, and by the way, I wrote a book.
I wrote a book on this very subject, so happens.
I wrote a book on it. Oh, I brought it with me.
Oh, holy, well, it's right here. Right, every single time. Bill Gates was being interviewed by Anderson Cooper last night, and they were talking about education, and Bill Gates at one point goes, well, it's good that nowadays everybody can get a good education. Even the jocks, and it's like Revenge of the Nerds he brought up. And then there was like a little banter, and Anderson Cooper was like, was that, what do you know a lot about? Have you seen that movie? He goes, oh, yeah, I've seen it. He's like, do you understand? That's like my life. And then they had a thing where Cooper was like, did you help write? He's like, I don't know. But
Are you serious? They went on.
They did like a little 5-minute bit about
First
Revenge
of all,
of the Nerds being his
excellent
life.
movie, great movie.
The
super
nerd rapes
funny.
a girl, by the way.
I know, but that's why he couldn't make it today.
Right.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's Bill Gates. Yeah, I'll just send that to you. It makes me think of idiot losers. So, anyway, the extent of just what the USAID has been involved in is being brought to light to the broader masses. But even still, you see these mainstream media figures running cover for them and acting like these are wonderful organizations and how it's just totally awful and authoritarian to do what Trump has done to shed light on the USAID. And chief among these, shouldn't be a surprise to anybody, is Stephen Colbert.
Oh no, really? I thought he'd be on. He'd be on board.
I thought, I thought he got
red pilled. He didn't get red pilled.
No, not yet. He brought on the former head of the USAID under the Biden administration, Samantha Powers, who I've done a number of exposés on how truly awful that woman is on this show. Like, I've talked about her a ton.
I guarantee you, anybody watching this show, right? Any of us could do whatever it is she did for that long. There's nothing tough about it other than hiding money that you're giving to people. I mean,
this woman's like a killer to me. Like she is cold-blooded. She is the wife of Obama's propagandist who published a paper famously demonizing conspiracy theorists and promoting the cognitive infiltration of people with radical beliefs, conspiracy beliefs, to try and undermine their beliefs and questions about 9/11 and stuff like that. So he wrote the book Nudge. He has a whole number of books that are about climate change, what the wealthy should do for the world, and this is his wife. And she is cut from the exact same cloth. She's a psychopath. You can tell as soon as you listen to her.
Yeah.
I didn't even
let me see her eyes. I can tell if you let me see her eyes.
Exactly, dude. You will be able to tell right away. And here is Stephen Colbert bringing her out to defend the USAID, which to me is kind of like bringing out P. Diddy to defend sex trafficking, which maybe he'll do tomorrow night. Let me get this up on screen. Of course, Colbert. I actually think Colbert might be a true believer.
He is a true believer. I do. That's why he's so stressed. Look at him. I almost feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Because I do think he's just a dupe.
He reminds me of some people we know, actually.
I know. I think he's a good-hearted dupe. I really do. He annoys the shit out of me, but I think he's a good-hearted dupe.
Super annoying. It's awful. It'll never be more clear than when you watch this clip that you do not get into this audience, this live studio audience, unless you pass some sort of ideological test. Because of the way they celebrate everything that they say. Here they go.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. Give it up for Louis Cato and the late...
Scoot up a little bit.
Our government already in progress.
There you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now return to the dismantling of our government already in progress. One of the first victims Elon Musk has decided to sacrifice to the ever-ravenous gods of chaos is the United States Agency for International Development, or USAID, which for over 60 years has been the international humanitarian arm of the United States government, addressing hunger, disease, and
we're just
poverty
never going to do
all
this
around the
again.
world.
We couldn't possibly replace it with anything else.
No, yeah, no,
Mm-hmm.
it's over.
It's over.
It's over.
Never
Sunday
do this
night,
again. We're taking the
Musk
food
posted-
out of their mouths as they're chewing it.
That's what Trump did as he raped
Yep.
their mothers.
We spent the weekend feeding USAID into the wood chipper, could gone to some great parties, did that instead.
Good grammar joke coming.
It's could have
Oh,
gone
that's a show.
to some great parties, okay?
It's really funny.
Well, at least you're not a grammar Nazi. Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to get her in here. Sorry.
Have a seat. There you
There she
go.
is. Samantha
If you
Power.
want your tweets to go viral, Brad, put in an intentional misspelling like that, because idiots like him
Dude,
will correct
I used to talk about this all the time. I would talk about how I think Trump misspells stuff,
Yes.
or whoever does tweets on purpose specifically,
do.
so idiots like this would
Yes,
focus
they
on
do.
it.
Yep, psycho. Look at her.
Dude, she's crazy.
Hold on. I can tell you right now, she is just a skull. She's real. This is a human skin she took from somebody else.
They're right, dude. Doesn't she look crazy?
And she put it on her skeleton, and then she threw a wig on. And as soon as she leaves, she's gonna go right back to being an evil skeleton.
She truly is, and the way she talks is so disingenuous and media trained.
JFK established USAID in 1961, which, you know,
What are you
this
checking- what's he
was a
checking
product
off
of the
there?
Cold War.
He's looking at his notes.
You gotta check that.
He didn't research any of this. He has some feminist right. You know, all his writers are women. He said he didn't need any more men or white men, especially. And they hired all women. They did a whole profile on how.
I actually know a former writer of his. The guy's still super progressive and woke, even after getting fired from
Really? That's
Colbert. Yeah.
USAID. What was its mission, and why is that mission still vital now that the Cold War is over? Why do we still need it?
Well, the Cold War, of course, Kennedy was thinking about the battle for hearts and minds and what would win America the affections of global publics. So this is
What do you think about her voice so far?
Like you said, he was very trained.
an
Very trained.
investment
She
in
said
our
this 1,000
stability,
times.
Absolutely.
More than that.
Absolutely.
in our security, in our alliances. And that is what USAID has done since Kennedy created it, helped eradicate smallpox, on the verge of eradicating
this is
polio.
this is the mode I go into when customers start complaining about what our company is charging them,
Oh, really?
and I have to justify it.
You put on the skin
I know
of
it's a
somebody
total
else,
lie.
and you put on a wig.
Yeah, I put on a wig and I go into this mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Again and again, USAID is on the front lines of some of the hardest challenges that our country faces and that some of the most vulnerable people in the world face.
So it's a premier example.
There's nothing sexual about this woman. I don't know how her husband has sex with her.
They don't, Brad. They don't have sex with each other. Okay? They probably do what the ancient Greeks do, and they find some teenager or child
Yeah.
and have that kind of love.
You might be right about that.
It's a like
So
a-
here the crowd just clap. They have no idea. They've never heard of the USAID until probably 2 days ago. They're like, "Oh yeah!" Can you imagine if me or you or anybody who listens to this show were in that audience? Right? I'd be screaming, "Bullshit, whore!"
Absolutely. Well, so they were taught. Foreign aid makes up 1%.
She does that, yeah.
Right. It's only 1% of what we spend. However, that's not the point. The point is, okay, great. I hear you. It's only 1%. Why are you fighting so hard to keep it?
Right. So Greg pointed out her masculine features, and that's
a
definitely.
prime example
Yeah.
of people call soft
Mask,
power in the world,
MASK,
influencing the rest of the world
masculine
through the way we
features.
help them. Do you have any sense of what's actually going on at the agency right now? Because it's kind of confusing what the status is.
It's confusing in some respects, but the core fact is
Core fact.
programs that we're running that people were depending on, in some cases for life-saving medicine, like medicine if you have HIV that keeps
Yeah,
you alive,
AIDS
quite
is gonna
literally,
spread
or
because of this.
if you're in Sudan and you have
Were
a
these
child.
Americans? Did he rip the medicine out of an American's hand?
Yeah, Sudan sounds like a child in Sudan with AIDS.
Yeah.
And so AIDS might come back, but not like the Magic Johnson AIDS. Like the real AIDS might come back. because
Who's
of this.
wasting away because of malnutrition. A miracle paste, a peanut paste that USAID provides,
A
brings
miracle
that kid
paste.
back
Miracle
from the brink
peanut
of death.
paste.
All of those programs are shuttered. And
Immediately.
They were shut.
So I love that Colbert here is so focused. He says immediately, instead of saying, "Could you elaborate on this miracle paste?"
Yeah.
You know, it's like saying,
Immediately, no more paste, no more miracle peanut paste.
what is this miracle peanut paste that you have that saves Sudani and AIDS-riddled children?
Okay. I can't. What
All
should
right,
I say next?
there's many more of this, but that I just wanted to just to show you. Stephen Colbert continues to disappoint. Once promising, he should have stuck with was it called the Colbert Report that he did?
That was funny. I actually thought that was funny. There's a lot of funny stuff on it. He's just lost his entire sense of humor. I don't know
Totally.
what happened to this guy.
Totally. First shot says peanut paste. What if What if he has a peanut allergy? That's a good question. Yeah, and I know I wanted to get you in for a few minutes. I know you don't have much time tonight, and you got to run. But thank you for letting me blow this by his peanut paste by you.
Mm-hmm.
And do you want to say anything before you leave early
No,
this evening?
you can check me out at Hello Covello on Twitter. Well, X.
X. It's on
X.
X. Yeah,
on
of course.
X.
All right, well, go get
Twitter.
yourself some peanut paste, and
Yep.
we'll see you next time. I'm going to continue here. We're going to have a guest coming on
Okay.
here in a minute. I'll talk to you later, Ian. All right, guys. So we'll play a couple. Let me see if there's. Actually, I'm going to show you guys one other real quick here before we have our guest come on. This Forrest mommy shared this after we did the show last night, and I thought it was very funny that this woman here, this looks like it might even be Georgia where she was protesting, but they had all these protests across the country, which is called like the 50501 or so something like that. So get ready for that term to be very popularized. But here's a woman, and this is the perfect example of the type of protesters you're going to see at your local state capitals and just at your local governments. I'm going to kind of bring it to the middle here, about right here. So they're talking about the immigration and stuff.
They arrested 100 TDA members in Aurora. What about those guys?
If they're criminals, then I don't see a problem with that. But he's getting a lot of people that are not criminals.
So you don't consider somebody that broke immigration laws a criminal?
No.
No. So,
No.
But they broke a law, didn't they?
Yeah, but they're just trying to make a better life for themselves and for their families.
But isn't there a process they could go through already?
A hard one is what I've heard. And I don't know what the process is.
I love that. Is it there a process they should go through? And she's saying yes as he's saying it. And she's like, a hard one. I don't know the process they go through. A hard one I heard. I don't know the process they go through. And she goes on to say, I've been told it's a hard one. They're just given scripts. They have no idea about anything.
That's not true, Bradley.
Oh my God! How did you, Reginald? How did you even get in here?
Bradley, I was at that rally.
Reginald, did you hack my StreamYard? How did you get?
I am hacking now.
Holy shit, Reginald! Welcome to the show, Reginald, the actor. Were you at this rally?
I was at this rally. I have been rally hopping all over the United States.
That sounds super sexual.
It's not sexual at all.
Well, Reginald, what about this woman here who clearly had no idea what she was talking about?
She sounded very lucid to me. She's right. I mean, the process to get in to become an American citizen is impossible. First of all, now
what's the process? Right?
Well, first of all, they have to get past all the armed guards, the 10,000 army men that are now stopping people. And then
is this true? Have you verified this?
I saw that the president of Mexico herself sent 10,000 specially trained troops to the border. They are shooting people.
I don't know that I think you're just getting emails from your activist group telling you this, Reginald.
I don't. I know, Bradley. Listen, I have read stories.
Of course.
Okay. From people, and they are not lying. I've heard stories from people. Oh, funny.
Reginald, Nate says you might have AIDS now. You might need to get some miracle peanut paste.
Okay, that's very funny. I hope you're all laughing. It is very funny to joke about me having AIDS and about us, ruining the world by getting rid of all of the foreign aid that we were. I mean, come on, Bradley.
What do you mean us?
The United States?
Do you have AIDS?
No. What do you mean? No, I'm talking about the United States. Stop putting words in my mouth.
I bet you'd like to put something else in your mouth.
Okay.
Peanut.
I thought you invited me on to get updates.
Reginald,
about
I
where I've
do want to
been.
get updates. What you've been doing on the ground.
I bet you do want to know.
But can you factor in the fact, the very verifiable fact that Trump has not exported or deported any more illegal immigrants than Barack Obama did?
Yet.
There's just been a PR campaign to make it seem that way.
Yet.
Okay.
First of all, I don't know why you keep invoking the name of Barack Obama.
Hussein.
He is not a progressive president. He was actually not
Really?
very progressive at all in hindsight. Okay.
You like hindsight.
Joe Biden was the most popular president in American history.
Really? You still are on the Joe Biden.
81 million votes.
Oh,
81
right. Most in the history. So
million
you
votes.
don't
Most
believe there were any
popular
problems with that
president in history.
election?
I'm sorry?
There was no problems with that election? You believe that that was all honest?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the most secure election in the history of elections.
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of an election. It doesn't matter if it was, a federal election, a state election, an election for your homeowners association.
For your
This
homeowners
was-
association?
No, homeowners.
Oh, sorry.
Homeowners association. Okay?
Okay, Reginald, are you in a homeowners association?
I am. I am the president of my homeowners
Oh my
association.
God, that's got to be a nightmare.
Well, I have a townhouse. I live in a townhouse community, and we
Where?
like to keep it adorable.
I'm sure you're a real Nazi in that community.
No, we don't let Nazis. In fact, no MAGA flags are allowed. That's a
MAGA
rule.
fags?
Flags. Why
Flags, excuse me. MAGA fags are allowed. MAGA
Bradley,
flags
I am not
allowed.
gay. Okay, I am
Have
a
you ever-
married,
Right.
straight, virile,
Man who has sex with men.
heterosexual
Of course.
man.
Yeah. No, the CDC used to have a definition for you, but
My
they've taken-
fiance Bobby.
BOBBI?
Yes, she is gorgeous.
Right. I'm sure. Well, have you been, there's these protests, it's like the 50501 protests to stop Project 2025 and everything Trump's doing that they're deploying out to all the states. Have you been on the ground to many
yes.
of these? Or
On the ground, running around, handing out pamphlets, giving people Mexican flags to wave.
Really? Yeah, the Jewish president of Mexico, by the way. as,
Yes, well,
First Shot said.
Bradley, just because you're Jewish, Mexican doesn't mean you can't be Jewish. Surprise, there's Jewish Chinese people, Jewish Japanese people.
Of course,
I'll
right.
bet you there's a Jewish Pakistani.
There might, you think there's a Jewish Pakistan? Do you think that
Probably.
they will be allowed to get one of those nice condos on the beach and on the Gaza Strip?
Okay, that is not funny.
What?
That is not funny. Those people have a right to return to their homes. It is their
What,
homeland.
the homes are gone, Reginald.
Bradley, I did not just spend the last 3 months opening up deep pregnancy clinics in Gaza to have you just dismiss it like that.
But are your deep pregnancy clinics still standing? Is the question.
They're mobile.
They're mobile.
They're pop-up deep pregnancy clinics. We
Right.
can pop up anywhere.
Yeah,
and deep pregnancy.
USAID funded, I'm sure.
Oh, not anymore.
Right. Not so you have had all the funding taken away from your
Not
deep
anymore.
pregnancy.
And now I can't get my Politico subscription.
Oh, so you had one of those?
Yes, I was
like,
getting Politico
right.
Pro.
What was it? What kind of information was that
I can't
given
tell
to
you. You have to sign an NDA when you get Politico Pro.
That's unbelievable, Reginald.
Yeah, it's such good information. You're not allowed to talk about it.
Then what's the use of it?
It acknowledges power.
All right, Reginald, knowledge is power. What knowledge do you have, and what power do you think progressives and Democrats are going to be?
Well, in
going to use moving
2026,
forward?
first of all, we're going to impeach President Trump for a third time.
Really?
That is
I
definitely.
bet you'd like
going.
to have sex with him.
No, I wouldn't like to have sex with him. I don't even think he has sex organs. I think
he'd get you pregnant, Reginald.
I highly doubt that.
Oh, you saying
Highly
men
doubt.
can't get pregnant?
No, Don't put men can get pregnant, yes, but not
Right.
this man.
Yeah, prove it. You prove it. Let Trump get you pregnant.
Some men can get pregnant, just like some women can't, Bradley.
Okay.
Okay? Some men have ovaries and a
Right.
womb.
Yeah. Your ovaries are in your mouth.
Okay.
Reginald, I'm sorry. I just feel like you wouldn't come on the show for a while, and you're very hostile. And
Not hostile.
don't cry.
You know,
Don't
I
cry
have
on me,
feelings.
Reginald.
I
Don't make me
have-
look like an authoritarian
Why are
bully to
you
you.
such a
Okay? Don't play
bully?
identity politics with me,
You're such a
Reginald. Let's
bully.
make up. Let's show we can have a little bit of bipartisanship here. I'm
Really?
sorry.
Do you mean it?
I mean it. I'm sorry.
What are you sorry about?
Do not make me elaborate on this.
What are
okay,
you
Reginald?
sorry
I'm
about?
sorry I said your ovaries are in your mouth. They're in your butt.
And?
What else? Oh, I don't know what the other thing I'm sorry for is.
Well, then forget it.
Reginald, don't act like a woman. Come on, dude.
Now you have a third thing to apologize for.
Oh my God, Reginald. Reginald, I can't. Look, I'm sorry you feel the way that you do, and your brain has been washed by the media you consume the way it is. I wish it hadn't. You have a lot of promise. Are you working on any new productions, plays?
I am. I am working on a third part to Angels in America. Are you familiar with Angels in America?
No.
Tony Kushner. Okay, it has nothing to do
Who's
with
Tony
Angels.
Kushner?
Tony Kushner is a famous American playwright. He wrote
Yeah.
Angels in America.
Outfield?
It's 2 parts. Has nothing to do with Angels in the Outfield,
Oh, that's a great movie.
right? Until now. See,
Really?
what I'm doing is I'm taking Angels in the Outfield, the great Tony Danza.
Tony
movie.
Danza's the
great
best.
Tony Danza.
Yeah. Republican, right?
I am taking Angels in the Outfield and making it the third part of Angels in America. Angels in America is a play about AIDS and homosexuality and
So
Roy
you're
Cohn.
combining the two.
And Roy Cohn,
concepts.
Trump's Roy Cohn is
Trump's
actually
Roy Cohn.
Trump's Roy Cohn is featured in the plays.
Is
Very
he the
important
angel?
character. No, there's surprisingly very few angels in the first 2 parts. Second part, lots of them in the outfield. So many angels in the outfield.
So this is the third part. You're combining this AIDS play with Angels in the Outfield. The
Yes,
players,
all of the. So what happens is everyone gets AIDS. And then they
Every-
die.
yeah.
Well,
All the
everyone in the
players?
first 2 parts. No, the
Oh,
first,
first 2 parts,
In the
okay.
first 2 parts, everybody gets
including
AIDS.
Roy
dies.
Cohn, Trump's guy.
Right, and then they start a baseball team in heaven.
Right, right. So this is kind of also bringing a little bit of
Right.
Field of Dreams.
They
or
all
Age
start a
of Dreams.
baseball team in heaven, and then they come and they help. You know, they meet Tony Danza, the great Tony Danza.
Yeah. Now he doesn't have AIDS.
He does not, as far as I know. As far as I know. No.
Yeah. Go on.
Oh no! And so then I don't want to spoil it.
Spoil
you know.
it for us. Come on.
Oh come on! No, I don't
Come on.
wanna
Spoil it.
Well,
Come on.
it's a musical.
Wow, that's not the type of spoiler I was looking for.
It's a musical, so you're all gonna love it.
So, in Angels in the Outfield, there was one
Angels.
character in the movie who could see the angels, who had a connection with them. Who is that character? Tony Danza in this odd version of Angels in the.
Tony Danza
you know.
is one of the angels.
So, who sees the angels, and how can you tell the angels had AIDS?
A little boy,
That's very,
a
very
little
progressive of you.
trans
Boy, obviously, of
a little
course.
trans boy who
Yeah.
just wants to play baseball,
But he
like
can't.
all the real.
You're supposed to play
boys.
women's baseball,
No,
but Trump outlawed it.
Trump said no more women's sports.
How do you feel about
He
that?
said no more women in sports.
How do you feel about that?
I think it's the saddest day in America since the beginning of the Civil War. What do you think? of that?
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a very sad day.
Explain that parallel.
Well, okay. The Civil War was a time in American history where we stopped getting along, and so then we started fighting. Have you heard of it?
Right, who?
Correct? The North and the South.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anything above the Mason-Dixon line were the good guys.
Yeah.
Anything
Oh,
below
no.
were the bad
Oh,
guys.
come on.
The bad guys.
Come
Evil
on.
bad guys.
I don't know if that's a good way to present it.
And they just wanted slaves everywhere.
They didn't want slaves everywhere. They didn't want the federal government to impose to try and control them.
Well, they weren't. They were, trying to control their slaves.
You know, Lincoln once said that he would not free the slaves if he didn't have to.
Oh, and someone, I guess, okay, sure.
Gay
sure.
Abraham Lincoln, by the way. Like to sleep with
Gabraham?
Gabraham.
Gabraham Lincoln?
Aidsbraham.
That is another play that I've been kind of penning in my spare time.
Really?
Yeah, it's a
Abraham
musical.
Lincoln with it.
Yes,
Maybe he could put him in
yes.
this. He could put him in the outfield. He'd be a very good angel
That's
in the
not a
outfield.
bad
Very
idea.
tall.
I'll have Gabriel, and he's very tall,
Yeah.
so he could probably catch all those pop flies. Is that what you baseball players call them? A
Pop flies. And
fly?
he loved the way those players' butts looked in those tight uniforms.
Well, they do. They are manly men, and there is something striking about a man cutting a figure.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure that. Yeah,
Hmm.
you have a lot of artwork like that.
I do. I do.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the male physique.
Very hetero.
Just in a very platonic way.
Right. Just like when you bro cuddle, right?
Brutal.
Bruddle.
Yes. Yes, I think that's a great way of bonding.
Right. is cuddling with one of your friends.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. Do you ever get aroused?
No, I'm not gay.
Would you cuddle with a Republican?
It depends.
Let me ask you this. Nate wants to know. Oh wait, he says you think the Civil War was worse than Jan 6? That's actually pretty crazy.
Just a little bit worse, not much worse. Just a tiny bit worse.
Right. Why? Well, I mean, I thought that January 6th was it's the darkest day in American history.
Well, I mean the darkest day in American history was the beginning of the Civil War.
Right.
Okay? Second darkest day, January 6th.
What do you think about the DEI being scaled back all across the country?
I think you're going to see gay people and black people and blind people and people in wheelchairs.
Midgets?
And midgets and lesbians. I think you're going to see them.
People with amputees?
Amputees. I think you're going to see them at food banks. They're not going to be able to afford any, kicked out of their
Midgets got to
apartments.
carry the amputees to the food banks?
Yes. I think it's going to be just a nightmare. I think it's going to be a nightmare.
I don't know that it's going to be a nightmare because white women benefited the most from DEI. Do you know that?
I don't know if you know this, but women are under attack right now. Okay? Right now, women are under attack.
How so?
Every psychically, physically, spiritually,
Psychically.
psychic attack against women is very common.
Yeah. Well, by who attacks them?
Men,
Psychically? I don't know how
Yes.
to do that psychically.
psychic attacks on women is very common.
How do you do that?
You think about bad things and you send it.
You,
like
you
here,
just focus on it. You throw it at them mentally.
Yes.
Is that how Trump rapes so many people? He does it mentally.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. He is a bit of a wizard.
Right. I bet. In the bedroom is like you used to say.
I am not gay.
I know.
I'm not
Reginald.
gay. I'm just
didn't say
an
that.
activist.
Right. And an actor.
Angels in the outfield.
Reginald, where can people see that
Angels.
play? Do you want to advertise where people can find it?
Yes, that play will be opening this July in West Palm Beach, Florida, at the Ruby Diamond Dinner Theater
Of course. Yeah.
off of East Ocean Avenue.
Right. It's very obscure.
One
unique.
night only.
One night only. Yeah.
Yes,
One
one night
how-
only.
Of course. Is there any discount for Do you have a DI discount? Any AIDS
Yes.
discounts?
Black
midget-
women, midgets, trans people,
colorblind people.
colorblind people. If you are the only people who have to pay are cisgender heteros.
How much do they have to pay?
Well, it's a pay what you deserve to pay. And I will,
Is that right?
and I will. It's a pay your fair share show.
Oh, okay. It's
And
right.
I will determine what your
Wow.
fair
So
share is.
somebody shows up. You kind of size them up, and you decide what they pay.
Yeah, I pay. I'm going to tell you.
What do I
you're
pay?
going to-
I show up. What do I pay?
So you're going to pay $35. That's your paycheck.
$35 to
Yes.
see a show about
You obviously
AIDS in
you
the
obviously
outfield?
don't spend money on sleeves, so you can.
You're right.
you can
This is the
afford
Black Tank Club. It's an
$35.
ode to Cam. Okay. I don't spend money on sleeves. Maybe I can't afford sleeves, Reginald.
Oh, very
because
funny.
of the DEI.
You're white. You're a white man. You can afford sleeves. Look at your fancy camera and your computer that you do this show on.
Oh, okay, Reginald. You don't know what camera I do the show on. How would you know? Would you break into my house?
No, I look at it. It looks very fancy.
I think
probably
you're
a
I think you're
$20,000
attracted to me.
camera.
I think you're bullshit, Reginald.
I bet you. You know what I would like to see? You need to produce your tax returns. I want to see your tax returns.
I want to see your tax returns.
I want to see
first.
your tax returns.
All right, Reginald. Next time you come, we'll show our tax returns and
All
we'll compare
right.
them. I bet you're getting all of your money from USAID because you're very queer and you're promoting transgender
Angels
comics and probably giving condoms to Palestinians.
in the outfield have AIDS.
I just don't know if that is really going to hit, but I hope
It's
that
a
it
comedy.
does. It's a comedy about AIDS, angels, AIDS, and
You have to laugh.
Are all the angels, are their bodies dilapidated and they look like
All of the angels have AIDS.
they still have AIDS?
But yes,
Did-
because
what
they
if they
get
give one
frozen
of the
when
players
they died
AIDS?
like a zombie?
Right.
They died and they got frozen in the just what they looked like when they died. Frozen in that.
They get frozen in their.
It's an autistic choice, Bradley.
Did you say an autistic choice?
Autistic.
Are you autistic?
No, I'm an artist.
Well, let me ask you this. Speaking of artists and autism, Ye, formerly known as Kanye,
Yes, I
recently
know he
said that he is autistic and not bipolar after he said that him and his wife, they beat the video game by having his wife show up in this invisible dress, which he said they tailored 6 times. He actually has some very hilarious tweets that he deleted about it. What are your thoughts on Ye's appearance at the Grammys the other day?
I thought first of all, I thought the Grammys were amazing.
Because of Beyonce?
Yeah, I thought she well deserved. I thought the fashion is what inspires the average person. You know,
Fashion? Is
yes.
what inspires you?
Do you know? And that's exactly why.
I don't know if that's
Before they
correct.
start rebuilding in the Palisades, I am sponsoring a fashion show.
I think that's out of touch.
No, I don't think so.
Fashion?
Fashion.
People, okay. go on.
Fashion is what fashion speaks to the common man. You know.
No, I don't
You
know
know what
that
I mean?
it does.
You know what I mean?
Did like the castle that
Yes,
Will Smith's
yes,
son wore in his head?
Yes. I mean, what if I as soon as I saw that, I was thinking to myself, wow, talk about working from home, right?
Right. I'm sure you do.
You know. Yeah.
That's not, I mean, I do also. Yeah.
You're into fashion. Look at you. You're very fashionable. You have your
I'm
own
not.
Bradley thing going on. Your machismo.
What are you wearing right now, Reginald?
One of those
A ball gag?
no, just a turtleneck.
So obviously you're wearing a turtleneck.
I'm wearing
of
a
course.
turtleneck. Lip gloss.
Right. Did your home in the Palisades get burned down?
I didn't have a home in the Palisades.
Unfortunately, no, you did not. Well, Reginald, you know, there's a lot of questions that I have for you. I mean, there's a lot of subjects going on right now with Trump in office. I'm sure you have a lot of opinions on them, but I know we're short on time this evening. I know you have an appointment. I don't want to reveal what it is to people, but do you have anything you would like to say in closing?
Fight the power. Resist.
Right.
Don't
Right.
nolites te carborundum.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It's Latin, Bradley. Don't let the bastards grind you down, Bradley.
Right. You speak Latin?
Some.
That's very, very impressive. Greg on Rockfin said that Elton John's real name is Reginald. Did you know that?
Yes.
Are you named after him?
Of course I do that. No, I'm not named after the other. Newsflash: some people just have the same names.
Right.
Were you named after Bradley Cooper?
My name's not Bradley. It's just Brad.
Okay, well, were you named after Brad, the Bradster?
Yeah, I was. It was very inspirational to my parents, Brad the Bradster.
Okay.
That's why my middle name is the Bradster.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I was
wasn't-
hoping President Trump would be able to pop in and speak with you, but he's not going to make it. He's out to dinner with a friend. I'm assuming it's Elon Musk. I'm assuming they're just cutting things left and right, probably firing the waitresses at the table.
Oh, he's lucky he didn't.
What would you have said to him?
I would have given him a real tongue lashing.
You give him a real butt to the dick, right?
No, a tongue lashing.
Yeah, tongue lashing. Well, I'm sure you would have given him a tongue lashing.
A verbal,
Elon too.
verbal tongue lashing, both of them.
Right. You're exceptional at tongue lashings, from what I understand.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Tongue bathing.
Thank you.
Right. You don't have a gag reflex, from what the Reddit forum on you says.
Yes, but that's because I was in an accident. It has nothing to do with sexuality.
What kind of accident?
I was in a diving accident. I used to be a synchronized swimmer on a synchronized
Wait,
swimming team.
What? For who?
What?
D-
For the
who? Tell us about that. I mean, that's something you just kind of
I
dropped.
can't just
bombshell
go.
there.
Oh, I mean,
You can't
come
just
on.
leave on that bombshell. You
I was
destroyed your gag
I was
reflex
part
in
of
a
a synchronized swimming team, and I was the diver on the synchronized swimming team. And you're probably wondering, what do you mean? How does that work?
How can that be? They're synchronized.
Right. Well, they were, and then they would get all synchronized. And you know how most synchronized swimmers, they form like a circle when they're holding their hands and they
yeah.
fluttering their feet to do
Right,
little flutter
yeah, I've
kicks.
seen some of the
you know?
videos.
Well, then I would dive from the diving board straight into the middle of the hole that they would create.
You would have sex with the hole.
No, I would dive into their hole. I would dive into the water, the watery wet hole that they created in the pool.
That is not
I would
synchronized. at all.
dive into it.
That's a demonstration of gay sex, or maybe not even gay sex, Reginald. Maybe straight sex, but that's not synchronized. I don't know why your coach would allow this. Where did you do this? Really explicit, vulgar act in the water.
I it was when I went to
Middle
Georgia
school?
Tech.
You know, well, of course, Georgia Tech. That is something Georgia Tech would actually do.
I was on the Georgia Tech swim team.
Right. You were probably the best. I don't doubt that. So that actually makes sense. Something we can agree on, Reginald. Where can people find you, Reginald?
Reginald V. Actor on Twitter, formerly known as X.
Yes, right. You're still there. You haven't left for Blue Sky. Or
I am
wherever?
on Blue Sky, but I know none of your heathen
Right.
followers would even deign to go over to Blue Sky.
Of course not. Well, if they want to see your pictures of your penis, that's where they'll go.
And no, there's not allowed on Blue Sky.
That's not allowed on Blue Sky? I thought that
No,
was
it's not
permitted.
allowed on Blue Sky.
Yeah. Well, Bad Christian here says you went butthole diving.
Okay.
A Big Hand says face first into the hole. I like it. So likes the synchronized swimming. If you have any videos, I'd appreciate that. Next time if you come on, I'd like if you could bring your wife or girlfriend. I'd like to see proof of life personally of this alleged female.
Okay.
Jocelyn is her name, right?
If she's not Bobby.
Oh, Bobby. That's right. Bobby Jocelyn,
Bobby.
I think is what it was. Yes. Okay. Great. Have you tried holding their dick instead? Might not be as weird. Says Big Hands.
Holding whose dick?
I guess all of the synchronized swimmers, which I'm sure you have since you don't have a gag reflex, you can probably, hold them.
Well, listen, if I had to, I'm not insecure in my masculinity. I'm just as comfortable
very, very-
holding a dick as I am holding a purse.
Right. That's how you show how straight you are.
So there you
Holding
go.
a dick and holding a purse. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much can you bench press?
145 pounds.
Well, that's pretty good, Reginald. I don't believe it. But maybe you can.
Yes.
How tall are you?
5'11".
Wow, you're taller. I
3
pictured you as like a
quarters.
5'3".
When I'm wearing my platform shoes.
Oh, okay.
I am
well,
5'6".
Nothing wrong with that.
When
Nothing wrong
I'm
with that.
shoeless.
Right. Well, Reginald, any parting words? Ian's gone, Dana. He had to go. He had to go to bed early. Sorry you don't ever get to meet Ian, by the way, Reginald.
My parting words: do not go gently into that good night.
Into that
Rage
synchronized swimming hole.
against the dying
Right.
of the light.
Of course, don't go gently.
Resist.
Reginald, V Actor, guys, thank you for your questions. We'll bring him back soon, hopefully with proof of wife girlfriend that you say that you have. And
we might even read a scene.
I would love it if you brought one of your scenes from
One of my
AIDS
plays.
Angels in the Outfield. Is that
Yes.
the working title?
Yes, AIDS Angels. I'm trying to figure out how to combine.
AIDS Angels.
Yeah.
And it's really unfortunate that even when you die of AIDS, you don't even get rid of AIDS as an angel.
Not in this movie. You don't.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right, Reginald.
All right, Bradley.
You have a wonderful day and a wonderful month at your protest that you're doing. I'm sure you'll make a lot of change and you'll do a lot of resisting of Trump. Thank you for coming on the show.
And even though you're all Nazis,
Of
I
course.
do enjoy coming onto the show.
Thank you for
even though
speaking,
you're all
yeah.
fascists and Nazis.
Of course, I appreciate you engaging.
Bigots and sexists.
Yeah.
Every one of you.
Racist, all of it, yeah.
All of it.
Right.
Every last one of you disgusting people.
Right.
Thank you for having me.
Right. You're okay with that because people might get upset with you for engaging with Nazi, racist, fascists like us.
Sometimes you just have to, plug your nose and just
Plug your nose.
march forward,
Okay. All right, Reginald. Reginald V Actor, guys. We'll see you next time, Reginald.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, guys, that was Reginald, Punch a Nazi. Thanks for all the great comments and questions. Is he protesting Black history? That's a question I wish I would have asked him. I'm going to speculate that he is not protesting. Reginald, are you still there? Or are you gone, Reginald? He's gone.
I'm here. I'm here.
I mean, you can go if you want.
No.
but
I was just about to leave. What was the question?
Are you protesting Black History Month? I didn't even bring that up with the DEI conversation.
Why would I be Yes, I'm protesting Black History Month because we need Black History Year.
Right.
It's
not enough.
It's not enough. We need Black History Year.
Okay, that makes perfect sense.
Yes, 2026 will be Black History Year.
That'd be fantastic. Reginald.
We are all background actors.
Yes. All right. Goodbye. All right. Well, thank you for that final question, Grumpy Gnome, to Reginald. And thank you all for all the questions y'all brought. And before I get out of here, I want to show you guys, y'all Kanye's tweet. So I talked about, and you guys saw Kanye's wife and her see-through dress at the Grammys and how he just bolted. Well, he made a couple of posts on X about that experience, and he deleted them. But I took a screenshot of them when I saw them, and I think they're so funny, especially the way they end. Because he came out, he said he's autistic or whatever. I can't ever tell if Kanye's serious. So here is the tweet that he made, and I blocked out the part where it shows her naked down there, and his tweet says, "From Ye, this is yesterday." He put, "Heart, heart, heart. My wife's first red carpet opened a whole new world. I kept staring at this photo like I was staring," and he included the photo, "like I was staring in admiration that night, thinking, wow, I'm so lucky to have a wife that's so smart, talented, brave, and hot. She took a break from shooting her first film to make a movie, in real life." And then he says, "We tailored that invisible dress 6 times. I want more details about I want to talk to the tailor of this dress, who Kanye went back 6 times and said, or 5 times, this isn't right. And he had to keep, or maybe Kanye's just trolling, but that's an interesting detail. Then he says, we tailored that invisible dress 6 times, and just like magic, poof, we disappeared because they left right after the red carpet. Then he says, thank you to all the outlets who recognize," the final sentence of this is the punchline, by the way. "Thank you to all the outlets who recognize us and gave us back the energy we put in. But I have to give a shout out to the American Vogue team for writing an article that places my wife in a strong, positive light and also recognizes rightful strength Finally, he concludes by saying, people asked, how would your mother feel? To which Kanye says, you don't know my mama, bitch. Kanye is a treasure, in my opinion. He's a go-there guy. He recognizes the absurdity of the society we live in, and he takes it up a notch, which when you make enough money for yourself, that is something you can do. That's a fun, you got FU money, you can do Kanye shit. And he also tweeted shortly after this one, which says, also has a photo of him and his wife, which I edited out. It says, we beat the video game. And they did. They did beat the video game. Like I said earlier, or the other day, imagine wearing a $5,000 castle on your head like a helmet. And a year later, nobody even remembers you did it because Kanye and his naked ass wife. And finally, shortly after these tweets came out yesterday, because the algorithm does what the algorithm does, Kim Kardashian's tweet showed up in my feed, to which she tweeted out a picture of her naked back. And then there's another picture she tweeted out which shows some side boob, typical type of stuff you might see at the Grammys. I don't think this is at the Grammys, but I just found it interesting that she tweeted these photos of herself out half naked after Kanye was talking about that. It does feel like, because Kanye's wife kind of looks like her, but younger. Still feels like a little back and forth going on between the two of them. Both treasures to this world, though. I appreciate that Kim Kardashian is like an 8-year law school student, you know? Oh, Sugar has a lot of names. Denver says, Black Santa is my name for Barry Soto Obama. Barry Soto Obama. And wasn't there a thing going around? I don't know the truth of it. I just saw the meme, so I don't know the details about his mom being associated with the USAID, working for them in some capacity. I don't know if that's actually verified, but I did see that going around. Denver, I do remember going to a Walmart in Castleberry Hill in Atlanta a couple years ago, and it's like a very terrifying Walmart. Castleberry Hill, if you're not from the area, it always sounds like fireworks is going off in Castleberry Hill because there's always gunshots going off there. I had a friend move out of Castleberry recently, a couple years ago, not recently, because within a month span, she had 2 bullets pierce the walls of her condo. So she got out. So this Walmart has a police station inside of it in Castleberry. But I walked in there, it was probably about a year and a half ago. It was around Christmas time. And when I walked in, I got like startled because there was a giant, I don't know why they made it like this, but it was very menacing. Santa's not supposed to be menacing, but it's a very giant kind of menacing Santa Claus. Personally, I don't care what color Santa is because I think he's a creep regardless. That's a whole nother story. That was my mama's dress. That was your mom's dress first shot. The one that Kanye's wife, Bianca. Isn't it interesting that her name is Censori, Censori, and she wears a completely naked dress, censoring nothing? All right. Or making, just going through some of the comments here before I get out of here. I am going to be on Legit Bat at 10, which I think will be on, it'll be on YouTube at the Legit Bat YouTube page on Rockfin as well. I'm not sure if they're on Rumble, but always love jumping on with them. Fun talking to those guys all the time. Joe and Jen. Hit a few more of these comments. Let me get out of here. Dana, asking about where's Ian. I don't know. I don't know where he is. So I saw, who was asking about Freelander? You said you can't find the YouTube chat. Somebody was having some problems finding the chat on YouTube and Rumble. So the Rumble subscriber thing, it it confuses me sometimes too, because they have like your channel and then your profile, and for some reason it has those as different. And I think somebody was having some problems with that, or I don't know. I'm trying to find the comment, see if I can help. Anyway, retard high five to us. Am I right? Yeah, completely. Looking forward to Reginald's show, An Electric Streetcar Named Desire. Yeah, I think he might have did that one. Maybe he's got some video of it. I would love to see some video. Like, maybe turn these things into a television show. I'm trying to give President Trump, a minute to come onto the show. He said he was out to dinner and he's going to try to get here. He's really disappointing me right now. He's choosing Elon Musk over me. All right. I think that's it. I don't think it's going to happen. I think we've been demoted when it comes to Trump's friendship tree lately. Too many questions about Gaza. Link. All right. See you later, Instagram. That was the hour. Okay. All right. Well, I'll give you guys one more thing before I go, because this is kind of a story that's up my alley, because I play a lot of basketball. Here is Denver says she was basically, you're talking about Obama's mom, basically CIA honeypot and sexual blackmail-oriented ops. Yeah, I've seen some of that too. It's really interesting, these people who have no they have such little information about their background. Obama's grandmother, for instance, the backstory for her, who they say kind of helped raise him in Hawaii. And I'm just summarizing. This isn't exactly what the story is, but this is basically the story. They might say, "Oh, you said that one or two words wrong, so you're lying." But the story about his grandmother is Barack Obama's grandmother was a waitress at a diner. And then one day she was the president of a bank, and she raised Barack. And there's no details in between. Serving coffee one day, and then this is my last day, I guess, because tomorrow I'm taking on my new job of bank president. All those details that are very, very important always seem to disappear from the internet. We need to give Brad a retard high five. I'm totally down for getting a retard high five. I earned it. Thank you. Thank you very much, big hands. I would love to retard high five your big hands. Is that a COVID mask? It is. You have a COVID mask emoji? All right, so last thing I'll talk about. UMass student has $10K reward rescinded after winning halftime contest. So if you guys watch basketball, or maybe you've seen one of the videos on X, they do these contests at halftime of most professional basketball games, some college basketball games, where you get 4 shots. You get a layup, you get a free throw, a three-pointer, then you get a half-court shot. If you make the layup, you got to make them all, though. You hit the layup, then you got to hit the free throw, then you got to hit the three-pointer, and then if you hit the half-court shot, then you win. Usually it's more than $10,000. Usually it's like $50,000, $100,000. And sometimes you'll see the people who win, you'll see it going around on X. Well, this guy hit all 4 shots here. And I'll show you all 4 shots and tell you why. The company that insured this said that they are not going to pay it out. And not going to be a popular opinion, but I agree with it. Nobody is attending this game, though. Very lowly attended game.
3-pointer and a half-court shot before time expires.
So you get like 30 seconds or maybe.
Noah, are you ready? On your mark, get set, go!
Got the layup. It's a good layup. Nothing but net in the free throw. Got the three-pointer from the top of the key. Nothing but net, guys. Guy's nailing it. Goes back to the half-court shot. Step back. Throws the ball up from half-court. Nothing but net. The guy hit nothing but net on all of those shots. He didn't hit rim on any of those shots. And they took it away because his foot was over the line. And I zoomed in on this. I can't make this any bigger. Let me see if you guys can see this. It's hard to see it, but if you look at the video close. So he takes one step, so that's where he should have shot it right there. But then he takes another step, and he does clearly take about a foot worth of a step in front of the line. Still hits a great shot, but that's why they took it away. Because when they do these contests, they are very specific. You have to stay behind the line. And it's like if you shoot a three-pointer during a game. If your foot's on the line, you get 2 points. So I feel bad for this guy. I do. But I've done this whole thing. When I've shoot around and gone to play, I've done this little thing just to practice that half-court shot in case I ever go to a game and maybe you're in that situation. You maybe win $50K. And one of the things that's always on my mind is you have to stay behind the half-court line. Because it is actually those couple of steps in front of the half court, I can hit probably 6 out of 10 in front. Take it a little bit back behind that line, the percentage goes down. So I think that they're right. I don't blame them for he didn't. It's not his fault. He didn't look at it. I feel bad for him. So here's what they gave him instead, though. At least they gave him something instead. I mean, he did a great job. There's nothing but net. It sucks that he took that one step. What did they give him? I think they gave him like tickets to the women's basketball, which that would be the worst ever. Okay, so instead of that prize, UMass gave him the following. They gave him tickets for a 4-person logo suite at a select men's basketball game of their choice this season. Okay, for one game. There's nobody at that game. This is a small college, so you could probably get those seats for like $50. That's not a really good. That's not a really good prize in lieu of $10,000. And then they also gave him, in addition, it says we would like to have you be a participant in an on-court hot shot shooting contest at a game that you select. The prizes include various gifts for making a layup, free throw, and three-pointer, along with a half-court shot that is worth $1,000 if you make. That's crazy. Similar to the promo you participated in, there will be a limited time. That is nuts. So he did it, and then they're saying, we would like to have you come back and do the exact same contest, except the prize is only $1,000. It's usually $50,000 or $100,000. When I went to Six Flags when I was like 12, we used to go all the time, and I went 2 days in a row once, and they had the basketball shoot. And the way they do these things, at least they used to, I haven't been in a long time, is they make the rim smaller so it's harder to win. And at that time, they gave away these giant stuffed animal prizes because very rarely do people win them. I won one of those things, and it was the biggest prize I'd ever won. It was a stupid, ridiculous bear. I still have it somewhere. But it's taller than me, and we went back the next day, and they had gotten rid of all of the big prizes, and they had changed them into the small, bullshit prizes. Kind of like they're doing here to this guy. Now, that's a crock of shit. And it says, in addition, you'll also get a pair of courtside seats to a select women's basketball game of your choice. That's torture. That's not a prize. And a $100 gift card for Mullen Center concession. So the concession stand, it's way too expensive. And you're going to get what does that say? So that's bad. You're going to get a bag of UMass gear. Actual items to be determined. Whatever. Denver says, I don't care if he stepped on the line. The shit they're offering is just an insult. It's totally an insult. I agree with that. I think they should just play it by the rules and say you stepped on the line. If I did that, if I was in that contest and I stepped on the line, I made the shot, I would immediately be like, I fucking stepped on the line. And if they took it away, I wouldn't. I'd say, I know. I stepped on the line. It sucks when they give it to them first and take it away, though, which it sounds like they probably did. if we're going to give you a women's basketball ticket, and 5 hot dogs at the concession stand instead. No, never. The advantages of going to a small college like that is that you can actually get into that contest. Like, you go to a Hawks game, it's harder because there's so many people, but the prize is worth more. All right. Sucks to that guy. Fantastic job, though. It was nothing but net. He's probably a good basketball player. Propagandafight.com is the website. At Freedom Act Radio, you guys follow me there. YouTube.com/Brad Binkley. Rumble.com, the Prop Report. In my bio on X at Freedom Act Radio, you can find all of the links where you can support the show and follow wherever. Thank you guys for a fantastic chat. And we'll do it again soon. Denver says, I lived with a girl that graduated from Amherst when I was in Boston. So did you guys have contests there like that, if that's a small college? Perhaps. All right, guys. Check out Legit Bat at 10 o'clock. We'll talk to you guys next time. Bye. Yeah, bye. See you guys.